I'd like to thank everyone that is now starting to use the Jot form that we've put on social media to get your questions to us. I'd also like to thank our social media guys for getting that all set up for us, because we want to make sure that we keep everything as transparent as we can and we can answer as many questions as we can. One of our members has asked us, what is FCL, which is mentioned throughout our documents and throughout all of our Q&As. FCL stands for Federated Cooperatives Limited. It is our main warehousing company, our main supplier, and a main supplier of services to us, such as accounting services, payroll services, and that kind of thing. The interesting thing about FCL is that we as a co-op own shares in that co-op, and all the other co-ops across Western Canada own shares in that co-op, which leads to the next part of the question, which is, what is our share of that and how will it be used, and that one-time cash payout? What are the downsides to accepting the equity payout from FCL, from Federated Co-op? So throughout the years, both Mid-Island and Ucluelet Co-op have earned shares, much as you do as a member of this co-op. We've earned shares in the cooperative that is called FCL or Federated, and by amalgamating, we're able to withdraw $750,000 approximately from those combined shares to use to defray any of the costs that will be associated with this partnership, such as new signage or setting up any kind of new information, setting up any kind of new banking or changing our bank titles. So that's what that money is, to defray the costs, so we don't bear any of the costs ourselves as an independent co-op system or a group amalgamation or a partnership, so that we don't end up footing the bill to partner up with another co-op. And what are the downsides to accepting that equity payout? There isn't any. It's just the same as when you hit 65 and you ask to draw out your equity, you get paid out your equity, and then going forward, you just get your equity out every time. We will, as a brand new co-op, start to build equity again. It's effective February 1st, 2025, we'll be a brand new co-op. So we'll be earning shares in FCL as Pacific Coast, no longer as Ucluelet Co-op or Mid-Island Co-op. When you earn shares in FCL, it's based on your purchases, exactly the same as it is based for you as a member. So for example, if you don't buy any groceries, you don't earn any equity in groceries. But if you buy product, we buy 90% of our product comes from FCL. We earn equity on all of those things that we buy, and that's how we earn shares in FCL. One of the questions that's come up is, I have gotten higher payouts from Ucluelet than Nanaimo, prorated for spending amounts. Should I expect my percentage to go down now that the larger group was paying less percentages? Absolutely not. That is an annual decision made year over year by the board of directors. It has everything to do with the amount that you as a member spend and the equity percentage that the board determines that gets paid out. So you can't expect it to go down, nor can you expect it to rocket up really high either. It'll depend entirely on what you spend as a member of the co-op and how successful the co-op is through the year. Another question, what benefit does this have to the other stores that are not in Ucluelet? There are many, many members of the Mid-Island Co-op that travel out this direction for vacations and holidays. In fact, there's some of those tourists that you speak of previously or in some of the other comments. So what is their benefit? They can now come here and they can shop for groceries, they can fill their prescriptions, they can put fuel in their tank, they can do all of those things and earn equity. It's exactly the same as us being able to go the other direction and fuel our tanks and maybe buy a bottle of wine or order some bulk fuel. You will earn equity on all of those items that we weren't doing previously. With the thousands of co-op members, if we amalgamate, how will this affect our equity? I see it being divided between more people, thus lowering our equity at year end. That would be the case if we weren't combining all of our sales and our net incomes as well. But we will be going from a $1.3 million net income to a $12 million net income, or a $14 million net income when we add them together. So not only do the membership numbers increase, but so do the sales, and so does the net income, and so does the net pool of money that the equity comes from. So I think that should suffice, or that should explain that you won't see it being the same amount being divided over more people. You'll see more people with more money in the pool, and that should help. One of our members has sent us an inquiry regarding having a full board like we do now. I've heard that we will have 2 representatives and one of those will be living out of town. If so, does not feel right. The voting process should also include a table at the store for people to vote. Once we get into that side of this amalgamation, there is in all likelihood going to be an electronic voting process in place so that you don't have to travel all the way to Nanaimo to place your vote for your directors so that you can elect the directors of your choice to our board. Nanaimo or Mid-Island normally has a similar turnout for their board meetings as we do. So the fact that it becomes very, very democratic after 2 or 3 years won't sway anything. We will still have the ability to elect our board members. We will still have an advisory committee at the table from our existing board. So we will never not have representation there. We will always have representation at this board level. Meetings can be difficult for many. Let's make sure all members have an opportunity to vote. We are doing our very, very best to get as many members there as we possibly can. So as I've mentioned before in previous responses, we are arranging for a shuttle or a taxi service that will get all the members out that want to vote. We'll make sure that they can get to the community center on July the 9th so that they can make their vote count. And it will be an informed vote when they come because we'll have all the information at hand that they need. Thank you again for all of your questions and comments and concerns. I hope that I've been able to answer most of them for you, but please note that if you feel we haven't answered your question either through this format or through any other, keep the questions coming. We have tried to cover off as much as we can in the social media concerns, as much as we can through our jot form concerns. But if you feel that we've missed your question or if I've missed it, please keep the questions coming because I will be happy to answer them. And if you don't hear me answering them or you don't see me in the store, send me an email or call me. My email is gm@uclueletcoop.com. You can reach me through our store call line 250-726-4231 and my extension is 223. So please guys, give us a call. We want to make sure that all your questions are answered and you're comfortable with the information that you have and you're not drawing or surmising something that isn't necessarily true. We would like to make sure that it's as transparent as possible and that there are no surprises. This is what's best for the co-op and this is what's best for our community moving forward. So please come and please vote yes.